Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to make a purple spiral. It looks like I have this shirt turned inside out. Alright, so you want to start by smoothing out your shirt, get out all the wrinkles, and then decide where you want the center of your spiral to be and give it a little pinch. And for this one, I'm going to be using the microwave splatter guard that I got off of Amazon, and I have a link for it down below in the description box along with everything else that I use for tie-dye, so make sure you check that out. And then I take my hemostat and I click it down on the first click. It does not need to be overly tight. And then I get the spiral started. And if you watch, I use my opposite hand to actually create the spiral. I am not putting a lot of tension on that center where the hemostat is. And I just continue to go around and around until I've gone as far as I can with the splatter guard. That's about as far as I'm going to get with the splatter guard. So I unclick the hemostat and I gently wiggle it out while I hold down the center of the spiral. That way I don't bring the whole spiral out with me. And then I like to secure my spirals by using rubber bands. And this is a pretty big spiral, so I'm actually using my stretched out favorite rubber bands. They get stretched out when I apply heat to them, so I just keep them in a little separate container, and they work really good for large projects like big flat spirals or hoodies, stuff like that. One thing about using the splatter guard, it doesn't create a very tight spiral. So if I was just to leave it like this and not move it, it would be fine. But I'm going to have to pick this up, set it on a rack, maybe flip it over during the dye process. So I need to create a nice tight spiral. So what I do now is I go around pulling on the loose tails and tucking them into the nearest rubber band. And I'll go around and around until I can't pull on those tails and they move anymore. The one thing you do want to watch for is that you're not creating the pleats to overlap each other. If they do, just back off on the rubber band a little bit and then reform your pleats and then put the rubber band on it. And if you have to add more rubber bands just to tuck those tails in, go for it. That spiral looks pretty good. So the next step is to build yourself some type of an ice barrier. And I like to use these silicone cake molds as often as possible because they're reusable and it's not wasteful like using foil or cardboard. And another good thing about them is they also help hold your spiral together. Now it's time for the fun part. We get to add the dye. And I used a washable marker to mark out my pattern, and I kept adding more colors to the project, so just ignore that mess. It looks pretty confusing. I'm just going to be adding the dye in the pieces of the pie like I normally do. Also, this shirt is on a very slight incline. I have my rack propped up with 2 empty dye jars, one in each corner of the tote. I'm excited to announce that we're up to almost 2,000 members in the Facebook group. I think that's awesome. And if you haven't joined the group yet, I highly suggest that you do because there are a lot of really amazing people in that group and they're sharing their wonderful tie-dye creations and they help answer questions and just overall chit-chat about tie-dye. I think we're all pretty much obsessed with tie-dye. So the name of the group is BelladonnaDyesCo community tie-dye group, and there is a link for it in the description box. It's the first Facebook link that's underneath the Etsy link. The other Facebook is for my business page. You can join both if you'd like, but click that button. The only thing that I ask is that you please agree to the group rules. A lot of people haven't been clicking agree, and I don't want to just accept everybody in because I do need to have a little bit of control over the group. And if you can't take the 1 second to read and agree to the group rules, then I feel pretty leery of letting you join. So it's nothing personal against you. Just reapply and take the time to click, yes, I agree. Facebook had suggested, because the group was growing so rapidly, that I ask questions and have you answer them. And nobody was answering the questions, so I removed that feature. So one thing I want to say about that is I'm letting people into the group because I want to be all inclusive. I need you guys to be my eyes. If you see inappropriate posts that are nothing related to arts, crafts, gardening, tie-dye, things like that, please report it so that I can remove that member. And buyer beware. There are a lot of scam artists out there, and I don't know these people personally, and I can't see everything. So if it sounds too good to be true, it might be. So if you're going to be buying something from somebody, do your research. Make sure that they're legitimate. All right, I'm off my soapbox now. Next, I give the project a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure, and then I add my ice. And I like to add enough ice to where I don't see any fabric showing through. And so basically, I just fill up until the cake molds are full. And then I set it aside and let it batch for 48 hours after the ice melts. I did come back and check it after the first layer of ice melted, and there was quite a bit of undissolved dye, so I did add a second layer of ice. Alright, now it's time for the rinse out, and you want to start by using cold water to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric, and then increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. From here, I take it to the washing machine, and I do however many cycles it takes using Kirillon. It's usually about 2 cycles. In the second hot water cycle, after it's been agitating for a couple of minutes, I stop it and I take my clear plastic cup and I scoop up the water and I check it, and if it's basically clear, I know that I'm ready for my final hot water cycle using Millsoft. And Millsoft brings softness back to the fabric after the dyeing process, and I get both Kirillon and Millsoft from Dharma Trading Company, and the links for them are down below in the description box. And then I put it in the dryer and I iron it, and we come back and we see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our purple spiral ice dye after it's been washed and dried, and I think it's beautiful. You just cannot go wrong with the purple palette. They always turn out looking so beautiful. And I love how the Wisteria looks like bright blue. I feel like it just makes the other colors pop. And having it on a very, very slight incline really kind of gave it a cool DNA type effect. The color flows running into the other colors made like secondary colors. So overall, I am super happy with the way this shirt turned out, and I swear by the splatter guard, and if you don't have one yet, I highly recommend it. So what do you guys think of this shirt? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing.